Hi, my name is Alexander Dailey, and I'm a biologist. I've been working as a life science biologist for the past 6 years. In this time, I've had a long range of experience working as a research assistant all the way to a biological project manager. I went to Indiana University for my undergraduate education, and I studied human biology, health and disease mechanisms. So yes, please stay at home and wash your hands so that we can flatten the curve. I chose to go into my field because I have a passion for people and science, and doing what I do allows me to combine those two passions together. It's challenging at times, but very fulfilling and rewarding. Um, I got to where I'm at today by taking courses in biology, chemistry, all of my different life sciences courses, as well as doing internships and fellowships while studying at the Indiana University as a college undergraduate. Prior to going to university, I attended a boarding school that was a 2 year program for high talent high schoolers in the state of Indiana. So in that experience, I got to move out at home at 16 and experience college about 2 years earlier than normally. And that kind of gave me a leg up in the world. Normally, life science industry, it is dominated by people who don't look like me, people who aren't from the same backgrounds. Uh, I am an underrepresented minority and STEM, and I am grateful for all of the opportunities that I've had. Some of my day-to-day activities, well, usually it starts around 8. I go into the office, I might check a couple of emails, I'll make sure that I have everything that I need for the day, and then we go into the lab and start lab meetings. So these are daily lab meetings, just going through briefs, figuring out what everyone is working on, what metrics we need to check, and how we're progressing throughout the week. After that, if I'm running in the lab, I'll start running in the lab, learning my lab code, doing experiments, testing the quality of the medicine that we produce at Lilly. So we mainly produce insulin for diabetics. And so a lot of my time was spent doing quality control testing for that. On the other hand, when I was not in the lab, I was in the office being a project manager. So that means managing different projects and change controls that are happening within the pharmaceutical industry. So that's developing new methods, writing new knowledge pieces and SOPs, which are standard operating procedures, getting that information together so that we can have a robust quality management system. Because without ensuring quality medicine to the masses, we don't or we can't help improve the lives of people in our society. If anyone wants to go into biology, one thing I would recommend is make sure that you research exactly what it is that you want to do, because biology is such an umbrella term. It's so catch-all. So for instance, when I say I'm a biologist, most people think that I work outside or work in the field, and I collect like plant samples and fish samples, and that's more ecology, which is biology. Biology is, again, a general umbrella term. However, what I particularly do is more so in the lab-based part of biology, so more so biochemistry, molecular biology, cellular biology. If you do know that you want to go into STEM, whether it is to be an engineer or a doctor or a biologist, make sure that you're focusing heavily on your mathematics courses. You're always going to do modeling, and as we can see from the COVID-19 situation, modeling and predicting, forecasting plays a lot of part into what we implement as best practices. So pay attention in your math classes, pay attention in your science classes. Make sure that you get that fundamental understanding that you need in order to progress really well in the field. So if any subject in STEM interests you, make sure to really hone in on that. Join extracurricular clubs, join like Lego robotics. Maybe you guys have a STEM club at your school. Join those clubs and make sure your parents know that you have an interest in that particular subject so that they can assist you in finding these programs that exist that will accelerate these talents. Overall, the outlook for my industry looks really well. People are always going to get sick. People are always going to need medicine. People are always going to need life-saving therapies and therapeutics. So what we do as life science professionals is provide that to the masses. So in terms of job outlook, it looks really well. You cannot go wrong with a STEM degree. And even if you don't end up in the lab, you can use your experience outside of the lab in a business management type role. Starting out, salary-wise, I know you guys are in middle school, so it doesn't really mean that much to you. But future forward-looking, so you can gauge the return on investment on your college education. Starting out with a undergraduate degree, you can go into the industry and working starting around $60,000 a year. So that's really good. It's well above the median average in the U.S. And in terms of promotion and career outlook, look really well. So if you have any questions, if you want to learn a little bit more about the life science industry, please send your teachers and your principal email, and I'll try to respond to those as best as I can. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing this hard hat, it's because part of being a scientist, I make medicine. So that means going on the production floor and seeing these huge multi-gallon tanks that hold all of the life-saving medicines that we make. And so in that regard, a scientist looks like how a scientist looks like. They look like you. A scientist looks like you. It's not fancy. We go in and we do nice, good work for society, and anyone if they can put their mind to it, can accomplish being a scientist. So I hope that gives you a little bit more background on like what it is to be a biologist, and I hope you guys are doing well during the COVID-19 period. Remember to wash your hands, stay at home, help flatten the curve. Thank you.